The Fox 61 News at 6 starts now.
Now, breaking news off the top here at 6. We just learned less than an hour ago that the Middletown Board of Education will have an emergency meeting in about an hour to discuss the future of their superintendent. Thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 6. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. Alberto Vasquez Matos is currently on paid leave after he was arrested for DUI in Florida over the summer. Here are the three things that we've learned about tonight's meeting. Well, first, in a letter to the town clerk, the assistant to the superintendent and the Board of Education says they'll discuss the superintendent's employment, and they're expected to go into executive session. They could also appoint an interim superintendent tonight. This is the third meeting specifically about the situation in less than a week. Tonight's meeting is also at 7 p.m. in just about an hour. We have a crew on the way, and of course, we'll keep you updated.
And we are following breaking news just into our newsroom. Right now, a stabbing investigation is ongoing in Vernon. The town says that investigation is happening on Prospect Street. We've just learned a victim has been taken to the hospital, and we are working to get more information. We'll bring it to you when we get it. As both of these stories develop, stay with us on air and online at fox61.com and the free Fox 61 News app. Just scan the QR code on your screen. Well, new tonight, Day Kimball Healthcare in Putnam announced today they are in negotiations to join Yukon Health. And this comes after the state passed House Bill 8001, the Yukon Health Center Joint Venture Initiative.
And the initiative grants $390 million in bonds to help create new hospital ventures. Fox 61's Alicia Hercules is in Putnam with our first details on these negotiations.
State and Day Kimball officials say this acquisition will help make healthcare more accessible and fund facility upkeep.
It's a good thing if a bigger company or bigger entities come in to take over and help financially get better doctors.
Jeff Kell lives a short drive from Day Kimball Hospital. He's looking forward to seeing some changes to the facility. Ron Barron lives just 20 minutes away. He thinks the acquisition would go a long way for the community.
I think it's great. I think it's good for the area.
The recently passed House Bill 8001 will allow Yukon Health to acquire Waterbury Hospital, Day Kimball Hospital, and Bristol Hospital. The acquisition of Waterbury Hospital is expected to come first. Negotiations with Yukon Health are still ongoing for Day Kimball and Bristol hospitals. The state will also have to approve the acquisitions through their own process. Kyle Kramer, Day Kimball's CEO, says the possible acquisition will help expand their services.
The ability for us to do things like advanced neurosurgery or cardiac surgery are far more complicated because the number of people that we would need to recruit to have here to do that and do it well, number one, is expensive.
He says having access to UConn's medical students will also help with recruitment.
Will give us the ability to expose more young people to a rural community, to the way of life that we have here, and the opportunities that exist.
Officials say they expect to have the acquisition complete by 2026. In Putnam, Alicia Hercules, Fox 61.
All right, time for a look at the weather now. It was another breezy and cool day, and now it looks like there's a chance for flurries in parts of the state.
Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank is here with the first check of the forecast. When is the system moving through, Rachel, right now?
Very late tonight and early tomorrow morning, and most of it's going to stay to the south of us. And I want to stress the bulk of us are going to be dry as we head towards daybreak tomorrow. But just the northern fringe of this could end up clipping parts of Fairfield County or the immediate shorelines. We've highlighted the areas that could see some light rain and maybe a few wet snowflakes mixed in. I think the worst case scenario is there could be a coating in the higher elevations of Fairfield County. But again, for the rest of us, most of us are dry, and some along the shoreline are just looking at some rain showers early tomorrow. Very close call. Right now, 41 degrees in Hartford, 36 the current temperature in Meriden, and the winds are starting to diminish, but we still have gusts to 16 miles per hour in Torrington. So here we are at 6 a.m. Again, noticing it's snowing north and west of New York City, and it is really close to the shoreline. Otherwise, clouds breaking for some sunshine during your Wednesday. We start off with temperatures in the 20s to right around 30 degrees, and we'll see high temperatures in the 40s, just like this afternoon. We'll take a closer look at your forecast and changes for Thanksgiving week coming up.
All right, Rach, thank you. Right now, Hartford police are asking for the public's help locating a missing woman and her young son. 48-year-old Maria Vasquez was reported missing yesterday afternoon. She is believed to be with her 6-year-old child. Vasquez is described as 5 feet tall, 175 pounds, with brown hair and brown eyes. Anyone with information on her whereabouts is asked to contact the Hartford Police Department.
One lane of I-95 northbound is open in Groton after a fuel truck that was carrying about 1,000 gallons of home heating oil rolled over. Lanes are cleared now, but that crash happened near exit 88 around 12:15 this afternoon. The driver of the truck was taken to the hospital with minor injuries. State environmental crews were on scene to handle the spilled oil, and the Department of Transportation says cleanup and recovery efforts are still ongoing tonight. Officials say drivers should still expect some delays in the area, but look at that nasty crash there.
All right, North Haven police say a Wallingford man has been arrested for burglarizing a local restaurant. 53-year-old Todd Tandalo allegedly broke into the rear storage container on September 2nd. Police say he took multiple items, including cases of food and gallon containers. They say surveillance footage helped identify Tandalo as the suspect. He was interviewed and later charged with burglary and larceny. He has been released on a $20,000 bond.
A Connecticut tobacco wholesaler has been sentenced to federal prison for defrauding the state of more than $1.2 million in tobacco taxes. Kawar Cocker, who ran Smoke and Wholesale LLC in Ellington, underreported product values and failed to pay the proper taxes between 2017 and 2019. A judge in Hartford sentenced him to 20 months in prison, ordered more than $1.1 million in restitution, and seized an additional $60,000.
A Derby man has been sentenced to 6 years in prison for trafficking methamphetamine and cocaine. Court documents say in 2023, the FBI's crime task force conducted controlled purchases of meth and cocaine from 49-year-old Andre Messam. Officers tried to stop his car in North Haven, but Messam drove away. He was later located and arrested that same day in Newington. Messam pleaded guilty to possession with intent to distribute meth. In addition to the 6-year prison sentence, he will also serve 4 years of supervised release.
Hartford man was arrested after police say he drove away from a traffic stop and then got into a crash. This happened just before 5:30 last night. Police say officers attempted to stop 27-year-old Julio Colon on Kane Street in West Hartford. They say Colon got on I-84 and officers tried to stop him again, but he took off. Just minutes later, though, police say Colon was involved in a car accident near Kane Street and Prospect Avenue. It's a busy intersection there. He was then arrested. No one was seriously hurt.
A proposed $2.5 billion sale of Aquarion Water Company is drawing heavy criticism. Connecticut's Attorney General calls the deal atrocious, while lawmakers and town leaders warn it could saddle customers and property owners with massive debt. Aquarion provides water to 800,000 people across 59 towns. Opponents say the sale could mean higher bills and less state oversight. The deal, which would transfer Aquarion from Eversource to the Regional Water Authority, still needs approval from the state's Public Utilities Regulatory Authority, with a vote expected tomorrow. And the Place to Be owner, Gina Laurie, continued her legal battle against second-degree larceny charges today. The charges come from Restaurant Equipment Paradise. Documents allege Laurie issued around $10,000 in bad checks for equipment and services. Laurie is already under fire for the sudden closure of several restaurants throughout the state, with eviction rumors surrounding most locations. She is scheduled to be back in court on December 10th.
Well, crews right now are cleaning up debris after this fire at a scrapyard in New Haven. It happened last night. Happened on Middletown Avenue. The New Haven Fire Department said the fire started in a structure used for holding post-construction waste. As of this morning, though, the fire was under control. Thankfully, no one was hurt. Officials have not said what started the fire, but said crews have been on scene as excavators have pulled apart the pile of debris.
And in Tolland, crews worked quickly to save a building today after a fire started in it. The fire was reported around 10 this morning on Plains Road. Officials say thanks to the quick work of the first responders, engine tankers and water tankers, the building was able to be saved from a total loss. They also say the staff, the people living inside, and pets are safe. Right now, it's unclear what caused that fire. A big win in the battle against the opioid crisis and a win for Connecticut Attorney General William Tong.
A bankruptcy court confirmed a settlement involving Purdue Pharma and its role in worsening the opioid crisis. But this deal widens the liability beyond just the company. Fox 61's Victoria Anderson joins us now with a full breakdown of what we know and the money that's on the way to our state. Victoria.
Sarah, there's a lot to break down here. This goes all the way back to 2019 when Purdue Pharma filed for bankruptcy. This was years after the company created and marketed the drug OxyContin, which has been linked to 900,000 deaths in the U.S. since 1999. In 2021, a plan was approved to pay states and addiction victims, but it also would have shielded the company's owners, the Sackler family, from future civil suits. Connecticut and several other states opposed it, bringing us to today's deal. The Sackler family will now have to give $7.4 billion to states and territories, as well as victims and loved ones. Attorney General Tong says that the major win is that the family has no legal protection against plaintiffs. So this means if someone who has suffered from addiction or lost a loved one in this case, they can still take the family to court if they deny payments. So what does this mean for Connecticut? Attorney General Tong says the state expects to receive up to $68 million in the next 8 years. The goal is to pour that money into addiction crisis resources throughout the state. This money will, of course, roll out through all U.S. states and territories, but right now we don't have a date on when Connecticut or plaintiffs will see that money. In studio, Victoria Anderson, Fox 61.